Hi, welcome back to Deeply Sincere. If this is a Deeply Sincere episode, I haven't decided yet. I might just upload this as a standalone, but maybe I won't, so we'll see what happens. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys again. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about, but that's part of the charm of this, that I feel like I'm just having a conversation with you that is just a regurgitation of the flow of my thoughts. That's what I want this to be. So, welcome back to Deeply Sincere. If you don't know me, if this is your first time watching, welcome. I'm Ariel. I'm Ariel Trantrowile, host of the podcast. Feel free to watch the other episodes for more context if you'd like. This might not even be a podcast episode. We'll see. I don't know, I just wanted to talk about goodbyes. I wrote a poem the other day about goodbyes, about me saying goodbye, because I'm leaving Boston, and it's tough. I feel like I've been trying to say goodbye for 5 months now, and I'm in this weird place of being caught in between being somewhere and wanting to leave. And I'm sure that many other people have experienced this. It's really tough. And I'm trying to embody this, and I'm trying to teach this to other people, but it's not so simple. This idea that you should embrace where you are now and live life to every morsel, every molecule of experience that you possibly can, and embrace the experience, embrace the being where you are, embrace the sadness, the emotion, the everything of it all. That's something that I've been embodying more and trying to embody more in my day-to-day life. And I've been learning that over the course of the past 5 months. But like I said, it's tough when you are somewhere and you want to be somewhere else. And I think this is just something that I've struggled with within myself, wanting to be somebody else while being the person that I am. How do I accept that I am where I am and not that idealization, that fantasy of the person that I want to be? Because I don't think we'll ever be able to grasp, when you hold on to this idea of constantly reaching for something, you'll never be able to grasp that satisfaction of okay, I'm there. Unless you choose to decide in the moment that you are there now. And I think there are a lot of different philosophers that talk about this. I think Alan Watts, for one, who is a philosopher I really admire, and I've listened to some of his stuff maybe on YouTube, motivational videos, unironically, because fire, why not? And also his audiobooks a little bit, which are his voice, which is awesome because his voice is really great. And if you're not familiar with Alan Watts, you should check him out. He's a great philosopher. He just has a lot of stuff to say about the self, and accepting the present, I think, is really a big thing that he does talk about. So where was I going with that? I think he's mentioned before that humans are hardwired, we're engineered to constantly go after a goal and be climbing the ladder of capitalism or whatever. I think it does, a lot of roads do inevitably lead back to capitalism. I think in my own philosophy courses in college, I've discussed capitalism. It's just come up in my mind of oh, but that's just capitalism. With a lot of different things, human dissatisfaction with the present moment. I've been saying, it stems from a belief that we need more than what we already have, and that's inherently capitalist, one of those, to be constantly trying to buy more, compete against others, whatever it may be. But in a lot of spiritual ideas, the present moment and the present reality is where happiness comes from. So, why am I talking about this? Why am I telling you this? Because I need to learn it for myself. Because I feel like when I talk about these things, it's actually because I'm reflecting myself. So no, you're not alone. I think just, it's tough. Like I said, I've spent the past 5 months chasing after a version of myself that maybe doesn't even exist, that maybe will like never exist. I think I have, since like a young age, I've had this attachment to fantasy. I think a lot of human beings inherently do have an enjoyment for fantasy, I think. And that's why we're artists, why I go to film school. To create a world to escape from, to escape from your reality. And there's nothing wrong with fantasy. And I mean, it creates these beautiful artworks of things that don't truly exist. But it can be extreme when we lose ourselves. And we lose the appreciation for the now, I think, is what I'm trying to say. And it just all goes back to those ideas of Alan Watts and being happy in the present moment. So, yeah, I think that, I don't know, if you want to check out the poem that I wrote about Boston, because I currently go to school in Boston, if you didn't know, and I'm leaving. It's just me regurgitating. I think I used the word regurgitating earlier. It's just me, regurgitating, expressing my feelings about leaving this place, which I think about every single day. It's a countdown in my mind. It's a clock that never stops ticking. Because I just have to keep thinking about it. I caught up with some friends earlier, about 20 minutes ago, very briefly, and it made me think a lot about my past. And it made me really sad, really nostalgic. I've been here I mentioned this in the poem, or the blurb of the poem, which I'll link below. But I've been here for 3.5 years now, basically. And it started to really feel like home. And I never saw myself living in Boston after college. And I don't think I ever will. And I think I don't know. It's just not somewhere I see myself after college. And it's great if you're a college student. Because it's really, honestly, y'all, don't rag on Boston. Boston is, if you're a college student, let me say, if you are a college student and you live in Boston right now, make the most of it. Go to Cambridge. Go to Brookline. Go to, literally go on adventures. Go on walks. If you don't like walks, what's wrong with you, bro? If the weather's nice, go on walks. If you're a college student anywhere, if you're a person anywhere right now, make the most of your time. There is so much more to experience. Hello, saliva in my mouth. There is so much more to experience than you could ever know. And I spent the first couple years living here telling myself that I had experienced everything. I would think, well, what can I do today? Oh, I need to get out of the house today. What can I do today? I look at the map. I'm like, well, I've been here, 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 and here. There's like nothing else. There's always more. That's your lesson of the day. Besides everything else that I've mentioned in this podcast. There's always more. More that you will never be able to see or perceive or understand in the best way possible. So go on a walk and walk down, if you live somewhere safe, if you know you will be safe, keep that in mind. Go on a walk down a street. Go somewhere you've never been before. It doesn't even have to be so far away from where you live. Just turn a different corner. Take a new path. I forgot what I was saying before this. Boston. Leaving Boston. That was on that. Yeah, I spent my first couple years here. I don't want to say wasting time because I don't want to have regrets. I don't think anyone should have regrets. Life pans out the way that it does to teach you things about yourself, to put you in the position so that years later you can turn around and say, well, I'm not going to do it that way anymore. If you never did it that way in the first place, you wouldn't be able to look back on it later and say, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. So you shouldn't have regrets in that regard. If you do shitty things, maybe probably like regret it, but like learn from it, you know? But I think regret, excuse, nose itchy. Regret, guilt, shame, useless emotions. These are things that they're not going to go anywhere. I'm not a believer that shame is a good like catalyst for things. I think if people do bad things, they should learn from their mistakes and stuff, but I don't think shame is going to be what teaches people to be better. Because if you really are a good person deep down, like inside of you, okay, maybe I'm thinking, hold on. I don't know if that's 100% true, if I believe that actually. But I do think shame is fucked up. But some people do bad things. So take that as you will. Take that with a grain of salt. I haven't fully answered this question yet. I do wonder if people learn from shame. Or if shame is more of a catalyst for emotions that they learn from. Because things that are built on shame and guilt and negative emotions, I don't know if they're solid foundations. I don't know. I'd have to think more on that. Take that as you will. Take that with a grain of salt. I just know, like, I'm thinking of, like, childhood trauma and stuff. People, you know, in that sense, those things can be helpful. You learn to grow. It's almost like I'm thinking, like a plant growing through, like, not roots forming, but yeah, like a little sprout, like, coming out through, like, the dirt. Perhaps you do. I'm like reconsidering my thoughts as I speak them. But yeah, perhaps you do need those things to grow in a sense. But holding on to them at times, you know, dependent on your situation, it's only going to do you harm. Especially things like guilt. Because I think a lot of people will be like, some people might like feel guilty about a situation, they let it just like eat them up, and then they don't actually become better people. They're just like, oh no, oh I did that, I'm so sorry, like, oh no, I fucked up, but like let me do it again, but like feel guilty about it. That respectfully, like, just learn. I think the most admirable thing you can do is just decide to learn and change your course. Holding on to guilt is not going to serve you. Where was I going with that? Where did that thought come from? Not sure. These are just things I wanted to share with you. I felt particularly inspired after thinking about goodbyes. I felt particularly inspired. In general, I also just wanted to say hi. My camera quality is not great. The lighting is not great right now, but you get a new view of my bedroom. By the way, it's flipped. I'm trying to point properly. Wait. Yes, that's the Beatles. You can't tell. That's like some art. That's Princess Mononoke. That's my bed. Yeah, that's the window that I was next to last time. And this is my computer camera. The quality is not so great on QuickTime. Maybe we'll upgrade next time. But thanks for being here anyway. Yeah. So, saying goodbye to a place that you once held so dear is tough. But I wrote in my poem that I felt like Boston had been a metaphor. And I think inherently, like, in many ways, the places that we reside really do reflect ourselves. But I felt like Boston had been a metaphor for my sense of self and my past self of 3.5 years. And I felt like leaving this place was a complete goodbye to that person I once knew. Which is like, I've been anticipating that for the 5 months I've been here, knowing that I'm about to leave. But it's starting to feel so real, which is intense. But I don't really like have words for it. I just like need to like go and like sit and like feel. Sometimes you just need to sit and feel. Another lesson of the day. Put that down. It's really important to be in touch with how you feel and what your body is telling you and what your intuition is telling you. Rather than, I don't know. I used to struggle with that a lot, but I'm getting better at that, which I really appreciate. And that's just kind of where I'm at. On saying goodbye. On trying to live every moment to the fullest and embrace every feeling, every experience. It's a beautiful thing. I don't even know how long this has been. Well, this is, again, like, I just want to, like, talk to you guys sometimes. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hearing my thoughts. Comment down below your thoughts about all of this. So, thank you for listening. I love you. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.